Welcome back for Chip's Corner this weekend. Jim Wiesemeyer filling in for Chip. He's on the road this week. Jim, thanks again for your analysis on the RNC and Trump's vice presidential pick and what that would mean for ag. But let's switch gears to the ag economy because Creighton University's Rural Main Street Index out this week showing concern about the ag economy among ag lenders. Ernie Goss, who authors that survey, Jim, saying that weak agricultural commodity prices, sinking ag equipment sales, and declining farm exports push the overall index lower. But Jim, it's also inflation and costs. I mean, farmers have experienced $4 corn before. That is not new. What is new is how high prices are and that those prices do not seem to be coming down.
Absolutely. And the production costs needed to produce a crop. I mean, even the Secret Service director could figure this one out. To me, it's so obvious. This coming Tuesday, July 23rd, the House Ag Committee, you talk about good timing, they have a hearing on the ag financial situation. And that's the first, regretfully, I think, of several that's going to have to take place over the next 6 months to a year. Because as you indicated, it looks like we could have very big corn and soybean production, at least corn, perhaps record, even though there are rain spots all over, too much rain in a lot of areas. I met with the Minnesota corn growers in Washington, D.C. this week, and one farmer told me recently he has received 31 inches of rain. But let's get to the subject. The price situation. If you get to 350 to 375 corn futures, which some people say you will, there'll be a lot of pain on that. And let's bridge that into what could happen. I will guarantee you there's going to be a disaster aid bill in Congress, not just for agriculture, but for other sectors. But that won't take place until after the August recess. Now, we could see some additional aid that way. But I also want to bridge into this is the most obvious need to get a new farm bill done this calendar year, because our current safety net will be found very wanting as a result of what looks like to be low to very low prices ahead.
Jim, I mean, we're talking about how much the farm economy has eroded, but I'm hearing some banks that are already calling ag loans. I mean, it is dire in some of these areas, and it has switched so quickly.
That's the history of banking is when they get nervous, they don't think twice. They'll call in their weakest loans, and you're beginning to see it. I don't know how widespread. I know you and others at Farm Journal and AgWeb and ProFarmer were trying to get a sense of that. We may find that out next Tuesday. I haven't got a witness list yet, but hopefully Farm Credit, Ag Bankers Association will be there, but we'll be checking in with them. Then you have on top of this, Tyne, you have policy concerns of farmers, and I think legitimate policy concerns. I'm not going to get into politics per se here, but both political parties have turned protectionist when it comes to trade policy. And look at the demarcation we have between U.S. and China right now. Any soybean or corn producers asking, what's the future of U.S.-China trade relations? What's the future of U.S. trade policy in the years ahead? Those are legitimate concerns that they have.
Well, if you haven't had enough of Jim Wiesemeyer this weekend, I know I haven't, you can check him out on Unscripted this week. Clinton and I host Unscripted every week, and we break down the RNC, just kind of all of the political news. There was so much news to digest this week. We do that with Jim Wiesemeyer on Unscripted this weekend. All right, we need to take a quick break, and then some gentle giants. We're going to take you to Indiana next.